This video is going to be dark because I want to show the lights. Two fluorescent bulbs, two 40 watters. They're pretty dim, but they're definitely lit. Now, I have this coil at resonance. It's using 636, about 4 watts, roughly. Right, to light 80 watts in bulb, 80 watt bulbs, two 40 watters. They're not all the way lit. Now I'm only using one wire out of the coil, just one. The other one is just hanging there, not hooked up to nothing. So I'm using one wire. That one wire goes into the top of one bulb, out of that bulb, into this bulb. Out of the bottom, I have a wire connecting both bottoms, and I have an earth ground here. Okay, I just unhooked the earth ground. Nothing's on that. It doesn't go to the electrical panel. It's not bonded. It's just a ground rod. Now, both are still lit, but not much. Now watch what happens when I hook this ground back up. When I hook the ground back up, they get much brighter with the earth ground hooked up. Now, remember, we're at 0.675 roughly. I'm going to unhook one of the lights. And unhook it at the bottom. Now, this light is about the same brightness as it was. 0.682. Remember, it was 0.675. Now we're going to hook this sucker back up. Now here's the interesting thing. As you see now, because I disconnected it, only one lights, the other one doesn't light. So I take off the ground, I put the ground back on. Now they both light. And it does that repeatedly. So I kill this one at the top, I put it back on, and it doesn't come really back on until you disconnect the ground and touch the ground again. Then they'll both light up. Now our input amperage is a little less, about the same but a little less. So what I'm figuring is a coil in resonance produces super high voltage with no amperage, practically nothing. We could consider it nothing. Now, what is that good for? That's the question. What's high voltage good for with no amperage? Well, lighting, as you see. And what's the advantage of this? That there's no amperage, which means there's barely any voltage drop. VD equals I times R. Where the I is, there's no amperage. So, in theory, I don't know, I'm going to experiment. You should be able to hook up many of these bulbs and not experience any voltage drop. And if there's no voltage drop, you could get a lot of light, which could then be converted back to usable power. So, I don't know, but I find this fascinating. And one more time, I'm going to unhook light number 2. Light number 2 goes out, and I'm going to break the bulbs. Now I'm going to hook light number 2 back up. And the bottom came, oh, come on. There we go. Actually, I gotta move it. Let's get number 2 hooked back up. I gotta find a way to make these sturdier. Now look, it's not coming on until you unhook the ground, and hook it back, and bam. And that's repeatable. Why it does that, I don't know. I don't know if you could see it on the video, but you could see these undulations going down on this one and up on this one. But I don't know.